Okay. Hello, rinig ko ba?
Hello, rinig ko ako.
Yes. Okay, let's start. Welcome to our live stream, everyone. I'm so glad you're here with us today. We're going to have some fun and insightful moments, especially if you've ever felt stress of juggling school, exams, and everything that comes with it. But before anything else, I'd like to ask our members here, how are you guys feeling?
I'm feeling good.
Great.
Good. Fine.
How about Sophie?
That's great. I'm also feeling good. Now let's shift gears and understand what academic anxiety is, how it affects us, why it happens, and ways to manage it. Let's dive in.
So, anxiety is a common challenge we all face. You might wonder why we should confront it, but addressing our anxiety improves our well being and fosters connection with others. By sharing our experience, we empower ourselves and build a supportive community that encourages healing and growth. So, how are you, Kayan? And how do you think we can do this? And how do you think we can address this topic?
I think you're right, Johan. Anxiety can feel overwhelming, especially in academic settings where there's so much pressure to succeed. For me, it often comes from feeling like I'm not doing enough or that I'm failing. But I also believe that talking about it, like we are now, might help. Maybe we could create spaces where we can integrate each other's share strategies that work, and no matter what, it's okay to not have everything figured out all the time.
So, academic anxiety is that knot in your stomach before a big exam or racing through when facing a challenging assignment. So, how about you guys? What do you think we need to tackle this?
For me, I think we need to tackle this because I think it's too, how do I put it? It's not talked about too much or even a little bit. It's like uh, there's no such insights about it or something like that.
Oh, I see. What about you, Lou?
What's the question?
Why do you think we need to discuss this topic, anxiety?
It's mostly because the topic itself is disregarded.
I see. What about you guys, Julian? Do you have anything to share to this?
My opinion is same with Louis.
Okay, I see. Is there any of us would like to add to this topic? I'll take that as a no. Well, it's not just about getting good grades. Unaddressed academic anxiety is serious. It can seriously mess with a student's well-being, making learning a stressful drag instead of an exciting journey, and hindering their ability to truly connect with what they're learning and the people around them.
Hi, I'm Julian, and this is how I cope with my anxiety. When I'm feeling anxious or stressed, I usually rely on a few coping mechanisms. One thing that really helped is talking to a trusted friend because just having someone listen and offer support makes me a huge difference. I also practice deep breathing. It helps calm me down and bring me back to the present moment. And sometimes I just take a rest, giving myself permission to step back and recharge when I'm feeling overwhelmed. It's essential for me to feel balanced again. How about you, Louie?
For me, I manage my anxiety and de stress through distracting myself with whatever is causing me the said stress. A good example is by taking little steps as it helps with progressing towards something without overwhelming yourself. You can distract yourself while still working by finding a small hobby like journalism to express your thoughts and emotions, or humming a tune and listening to your favorite song to keep you in high spirits.
Well, for me, I manage my anxiety like doing small activities that help me feel more in control. Sometimes I go for a short walk or stretch to release tension from my body. I also focus on staying away from my phone for a while so I can clear my head without distractions.
Nice. Now that we've explained our topic and ways to cope, let's do something fun. Our objective is to reflect on personal experiences with anxiety. Learn from each other and connect with others through a fun and interactive game. So, let's start. Okay, we're going to play anxiety bingo. Oh, wait. Sorry. Wait lang po. There. Sorry for that. We're going to play anxiety bingo. This activity is meant to help us reflect, learn from each other, and realize we're not alone in what we feel. It's not to make light of anxiety, but to open up the conversation around it. Feel free to join and play with us in the live chat. Without further ado, let's start the game. First, I'll explain the mechanics. Our objective is to reflect on personal experiences with anxiety, learn coping strategies, and connect with others through a fun and interactive game. So the first one is get your bingo card. Each of us will have this bingo card right here, and it's with prompts related to anxiety experiences, emotions, and coping methods, which will be flashed on the screen later. The second one is the host calls the prompts. The facilitator will randomly read out the items on the bingo card one at a time. Third one is mark your card. If the prompt applies to you or something you've experienced, mark the square on your card. Fourth one is bingo. The first person to get a straight line, horizontal, vertical, or diagonal, or a full card if time allows, will shout bingo or type it, guys, in the chat box. Last but not the least, we will have a debriefing session. We will end the game with a quick reflection. So, guys, let's start. Do you guys have your bingo cards now? Okay. So, you guys, the viewers can screenshot and can take a screenshot and then have your own digital bingo card. So the first one, I will call the prompts randomly. First one is overthought a simple decision. Again, overthought a simple decision. Mark your card if the prompt applies to you or something you've experienced. The second one is avoided group work. May nagbingo agad, wala pa nga. Again, avoided group work. Mark your card if that applies to you. Second one is avoided a social situation. Again, avoided a social situation. Next one is felt anxious without knowing why. Again, felt anxious without knowing why. Thank you, Aya Banana. Next one is had racing thoughts. Unfortunately, we have no prize. We're just gonna have fun. Again, had racing thoughts. Please mark your card if that applies to you. Next is avoided asking for help. Again, avoided asking for help. Hindi ka sa akin nag-thank you. Ay, thank you, Alexa. Sorry, I didn't see your comment. Next is had sweaty palms. Again, had sweaty palms. Next is got a fast heartbeat during stress or during experiencing stress. Again, got a fast heartbeat during stress. Next, couldn't focus during class. Again, couldn't focus during class. Please mark your card if that's something you've experienced. Next is got anxious while opening a grade or result. Again, got anxious while before opening a grade or result. Next, forgot everything during a test. Again, forgot everything during a test. The next one is felt like a failure after a bad grade. Again, felt like a failure after a bad grade. The next one is felt guilty for taking a break. Again, felt guilty for taking a break. Wala pang nagbibingo? Okay. Bingo. Avocado toast. In case you guys didn't hear that, I'm sorry. Felt nervous before a test. Again, felt nervous before a test. Please mark that square if that applies to you or something you've experienced. Next is zoned out or dissociated. Dissoci- I'm sorry, I don't know how to read that, but yeah, zoned out. Again,
Dissociate.
zoned out. Ayun, dissociated. Thank you. Next is panic before a presentation. Again, panic before a presentation. Next one, felt like crying while studying. Again, felt like crying while studying. Lalakas niya. The next one is heart race while doing a schoolwork. Again, heart race while doing a schoolwork. The next one, avoided participating in recitations. Again, avoided participating in recitations. No one's got a bingo yet. Real ba? The next one, procrastinated until the last minute. Again, procrastinated until the last minute. The next one, reread feedback too many times. Again, reread feedback too many times. Para teacher si Ari on my quiz me. That's the goal. Next one is avoided starting an assignment out of fear. Again, avoided starting an assignment out of fear. Workshop na po ba ako, Miss Ari? Hindi pa naman. Slayable ang makeup. Thanks. Next one had a stomach ache before starting an assignment. Okay. Before we go to the last square, yung mga viewers po ba hindi pa nakakapag-bingo? Wala pa pong nakakompleto? One na lang for yan. Okay. Ayoko nga. Okay, looks like wala pa. Last one is felt like everyone else was doing better. Again, felt like everyone else was doing better. Okay, bingo. Let me see your cards, guys. Naka-bingo na si Yen. And Johan. Julian, I can see. This one's mine. Okay, first, since I saw na naka-bingo, nakakompleto si Johan, can you share how did these scenarios affected you and how did you overcome it?
Uh, Study wise, they affected me nearly majority of my life, I guess. Uh,
How about Kayen?
What's the question again?
Sorry.
What's the question again?
How did these scenarios affected you and how did you overcome it?
Chill lang. Yun lang. Stay chill.
Okay. Oo nga naman. TikTok to ata nilaro. How about Julian? Nakakompleto ka ng isang line? Ah, okay. So how did you overcome it and how did it affect you?
What's the question again? Sorry.
How did these scenarios affected you and how did you overcome it?
I overcome it by like talking to my friends. Yun.
How about Louis? Did you get a straight line?
Y- No.
Okay. Wow. How about, ay si Matthew pala wala sa stage. How about Matthew? Did you get a straight line or diagonal, horizontal, vertical?
Vertical.
Okay. How did these scenarios affected you and how did you overcome it?
Um, s-
It's okay. Take your time.
sa totoo lang, wala akong sagot sa totoo lang.
That's okay. So for me, these scenarios affected me a little, and I overcome. I'm gonna be honest. I haven't overcome it yet, but based on what I've researched, the tips and coping mechanisms are what Julian and Kayen, and Louis and Matthew said earlier, like talking to a trusted friend or listening to chill music and then dividing your task, time management like that. Since we're done with the game, thank you guys for participating. Let's move on to the reflection and sharing.
I hope you guys were able to enjoy the game. Now let's move on to the reflection sharing part. We'd like to ask you which bingo square stood out to you the most and why. For me, if I had to choose a bingo square that stands out, it would be the free space in the middle. It's special because it's already marked, which it helps players get closer to winning. It's like a little bonus that makes the game easier. How about you guys? Which bingo square stood out to you the most and why?
For me, on a more personal note, it's definitely procrastinated to the last minute because it's the same situation as preparing for a big test, but at the end of the day, you're just delaying and running away from your responsibilities.
I do that every time.
Okay.
How about
Well, for me, oh, sorry, my bad. You can
okay, go
continue.
go
Should you continue or should I continue?
go continue, Johan.
Oh, okay. Thank you. For me, I think it would be couldn't focus in class. I believe, I suppose everyone have probably experienced this.
Oh, sorry, I got muted. For me, felt like everyone else was doing better. I think it really captures the silent pressure of comparing yourself to others academically.
Okay, next question. Was there a square you were surprised to relate to?
For me, it's the reread feedback too many times. I didn't realize that that was an anxiety response. I just thought it was I was being thorough.
Uh, for me, it was disassociate because I never really noticed I have a habit of disassociating at times.
For me, I'm not gonna lie to you. I forgot majority of the questions and I had to check my phone multiple times. But anyways, for me, it's still no couldn't focus on during class. I thought it was like my problem, but it turns out it's majority of. So
The thing that I relate to the most is feeling nervous before a test because, yeah.
Had to be the procrastination part for me. But to be fair, doing your work 5 minutes before deadline is just as impressive. Anyway, the next question is, how did it feel to see others experience similar things?
Okay, for me, it felt comforting. It's like, oh, I'm not the only one who reads feedback obsessively or zones out during class. It felt like, nah, I wasn't alone.
That's also the same for me. It's just very comforting to know other people have similar experiences.
well, for me, naman, I think it's unoriginal. I think, wow, everyone has the same thing. I thought we were all unique. That's my opinion.
My opinion is same with Johan too.
My opinion is also the same with Johan.
Same opinion, but remember that it's easy to feel that you're the only one struggling. But when others share their experiences, it's a reminder that we all face challenges and it's okay to support and depend each other. The fourth question is, what does anxiety usually look or feel like for you?
Anxiety can happen in many ways, but how I feel about anxiety is around the same feeling uh wait, as having a shortness of breath.
For me, anxiety feels like a heavy weight on my chest, making it hard to breathe. My heart races, and my mind keeps worrying about all sorts of things. It's hard to focus, and no matter how hard I try to relax, my thoughts just keep going. It's really tiring and feels a bit too much to handle. To handle.
For me, I think anxiety looks like a plane falling down, then usually opens a portal to interdimensional on a time travel. That's what it feels like to me.
For me, it's racing thoughts, tight chest, and avoiding work I need to do. From the live chat, Sina said it feels like a clash of neon colors to me.
Is there anyone else who wants to answer before I share my insights? Anyone? Alright. I also agree with Sina actually. I actually have a anxiety looks like a certain painting. It's The Screen by Edvard Munch. I don't know if you know it, but it looks like this. It's that one painting of a shocked man. That's exactly what anxiety feels, or rather looks like to me. Strong, vibrant colors that are all over the place, which overwhelms me and creates a constant state of unease. And the man in the middle perfectly captures how I feel like I'm in the middle of chaos. Yeah, that's all.
Well, for me, anxiety often feels like an overwhelming sense of dread, making everyday tasks like speaking in class or completing assignment feel nearly impossible. They may experience physical symptoms like racing heart or sweating, alongside racing thoughts of failure or fear of judgment.
Is that it for the reflection part?
Yes.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, let's move on to the Q&A session. So I'll be asking you guys a question. Feel free to answer it in the I wouldn't say it's chat box. I guess it's the comment section. I'm not sure. So I'll start asking questions. I'll give you guys some time to answer. Do you experience anxiety?
Yes, I think most of us experience anxiety. For me.
For me, yes, especially during academic tasks like tests and presentations. It creeps in even when I feel prepared.
Okay. What about you, Louis?
Uh, this is do you experience anxiety, diba?
Yeah.
I do experience anxiety. It happens whenever I feel bombarded by too many things at once, like an overload on my brain.
Okay. Alright, so I see there's no comments on the comment section, so we'll move on to the next question. But still, feel free to put on your comments now. Okay, we have Skibbity Thought. Can't believe I said that. Okay. Moving on. What is it like to have anxiety? Let's start with let's start with Kayen.
Sorry, what's the question again? Is it number two? I left for a bit. It's number two. What is it like to have anxiety? Uh, you can't explain it, but it's just there. Sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. You know, it's a come and go feeling.
Okay, so I thank you for your insight. What about you, Ariana? And everyone, still feel free to comment on the comment section. Okay.
For me, it's like carrying a mental weight everywhere. Sorry, quiet, quiet, but heavy. Sometimes it's loud too.
What about you, Lou?
Anxiety is different for everyone, but to me, it's the feeling of being in the deep depths of the ocean where you're too afraid to move or even make a sound.
Ah, same. Yeah, that's relatable. Okay, what about you guys, Matthew? Anyone else would like to put their insight to this conversation?
For me, anxiety feels like an overwhelming sense of fear and worry.
I think everyone has felt it that way at some point. So very relatable. Alright, so if there's what about you, Matthew? You wanna add anything to the conversation?
Well, for me, anxiety, especially in the context of school, can deeply affect a teen's emotional well being and daily life. It often arises from the combination of academic pressure, social challenges, and the desire to fit in or succeed.
Okay. Alright, moving on to the next question. We have number three. How would you cope with anxiety? I think this is a fairly common question. Let's start with muna dun sa group mates natin and then I'll read down the comment section again. I won't be reading the names anymore. Okay, sino una? Iniwan mo. Okay. Ariana, ikaw naman.
I cope up with
How would you cope
anxiety.
with an oh my bad. I was
Oh,
gonna read the
sorry.
question one more time. Excuse me.
I cope
How
up
would you cope?
with anxiety. No, ayoko. By building small routines, using calming techniques, and reaching out instead of bottling it up. Like talking to a friend that you trust or feel comfortable with.
Okay, I see. Comfortability is always there. Sometimes you gotta step out, you know? Uy, nako, may nagko-question sa'yo, Ariana, totoo nga ba 'no? Parang
Totoo.
doubt.
Huwag niyo ko ilaglag,
Okay.
kayo naman.
Anyways, move on tayo. Start muna tayo sa'yo, Julian, ano opinion mo dito? Okay guys ha, pag sinabi ko yung pangalan niya, wag mo na kayo sasagot, sabihin ko muna yung question ulit, baka naman. How would you cope with anxiety? Julian,
Like I said earlier, I talk to a trusted friend and I go rest.
did you already answer? My bad if that's the case. Okay, moving on. Lou, your turn.
I thought you were gonna say the question first.
Okay, fine. I'll ask the question. How would you cope with anxiety? Louis, bigyan
That's
ko
such
ng
a
pass.
great question. I cope with anxiety through distractions and hobbies, like immersing myself in games or talking to friends.
I see. How would you cope with an anxiety, Kayan?
Uh, taking breaks and if possible sleep. That's the best way. Oh, and eating. That works.
Okay, Matthew, if you have you can also add your opinion onto this question. How would you cope with anxiety? But before that, I would like to mention one of the comments. Hindi ko na sabihin yung pangalan. Alam naman natin kung sino to. Femboy ASMR. Relatable.
You're, you're
Shared.
not you're not supposed to say that.
Nah, I am. It's part of the script. Anyways, Matthew.
Okay.
Well, to be honest, I just cope with anxiety by just breathing. Yeah, I just breathe heavily, like breathe in, breathe out, like that.
Okay, thank you, Matthew. All right. How would you support yourself when you feel overwhelmed? Hmm. Okay. Ikaw na si ano? Sino kaya? Hmm. Ikaw na nga lang, Louie, how would you support yourself when you feel overwhelmed?
You're so good at asking questions. Rather than relying on myself, I rely on other people to support me.
Okay, good to know. Um, how would you support yourself when you feel overwhelmed yourself? Ariana.
For me, I try to ground myself, take deep breaths, break tasks into small chunks, and as I said earlier, talk to someone I trust.
Okay, I see. Let's move on to Julian.
Sorry, what's the question again?
Number four, how would you support yourself when you feel overwhelmed?
I go out for a walk every time I feel overwhelmed. So para ma-free yung mind ko.
Okay, is that it? Okay, thank you for your time. Let's move on to the next question. Sila yan na lang mag-answer ng following up question. Also, guys, refrain from writing very explicit stuff onto the comment section. What's one small thing you can do to manage anxiety this week? Let's start with Yen.
Number five, I recall, right? It's not something to manage anxiety. Sleep. That's sleep. And that's all.
Okay. What about you, Matthew? What's one small thing you can do to manage anxiety this week?
Well, I can try setting aside just 5 minutes each day for deep breathing or mindfulness exercises to calm your mind.
Okay. One last for Lou. Lou, how would you manage your anxiety this week?
Honestly, if you wanna just manage your anxiety at any time, just give yourself a break. Take a bit of time to yourself. Just maybe get off the phone, get off the screen, just go outside maybe, take a short walk, touch grass. Yeah, that helps.
Grenade. Um, I think it's time for Ariana's asking of the question. Your turn.
Okay, since this Q&A session is getting too long, I'll just ask two more questions and then we'll wrap this stream up. The first one that I'd like to ask you guys is, did anything shared today make you feel seen or understood? Julian,
Yes.
how about the others? Uh, those who are in the live chat. Did you guys uh, feel seen or understood in this activity? According to the S word, yes po, Sina, yes. One no, why? Do you mind sharing why? Please. Again, naglag yata ako. How about Johan, Louis, and Bien, and Matthew?
Was I mentioned?
Yeah, we're all mentioned. The question
Um,
is still the same. Did anything shared today make you feel seen or understood?
I feel less understood than I when I joined.
It would have been great if I was the only one with anxiety. That'd make me special.
You're
Okay.
already special, bro. In the head.
Oh,
Thanks, man. I really appreciate that.
oh, yeah.
Okay, last question. Are you going to answer? Ah, sige. So, what would you say to a friend who is struggling with anxiety?
I will talk to her or him that I'm always here for them if they need someone to talk to.
How about you guys?
Um, Number seven. What would you say to a friend who's struggling with anxiety? Was it number seven?
Yes.
Oh, Choo choo train. Yep, that's my answer.
Wow, very inspiring. For me, I'd say, uh, I'd tell my friend that you're not alone. It's okay to ask for help, and you're doing your best.
On a real like,
Wait.
oh,
Next one.
okay, my fault.
Yes, Louis.
Back to answer.
Nah. Yeah, you can go ahead.
Sige. Now let's wrap up this stream. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here and for showing up. Not just physically, but emotionally too. Today's game wasn't just about checking boxes, it was about recognizing shared experiences, validating our emotions, and learning how to support ourselves and each other through anxiety. Remember, anxiety is common, but you're not alone. Coping takes practice and progress, not perfection, is the goal. And last, there's strength in vulnerability and courage in connection. Before we go, I invite you to carry one thing from today forward. Maybe a new strategy, a new perspective, or simply the reminder that your mental health matters. Take care of yourselves, everyone, and be kind to your mind and keep showing up. See you next time.
Three,
Bye,
two,
guys.
one. Guys, we
Bye.
didn't
Thank you
say
Bye.
for
we
Wait,
didn't
guys.
say
what's
your hands.
what's the countdown for?
It was supposed to say
Thank
goodbye.
you,
It
super
was literally
nakatulong.
here. It says three, two, one, and then everyone wave
Alright,
their hands and say goodbye.
Bye
should I do
bye.
it again? I got you.
Thank you
Bro,
for
we've practiced this like multiple times. It's not that hard.
I wasn't here yesterday,
Alright,
man.
alright, three, two, one. Bye. Oh,
Bye.
bye.
wow, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Delayed much? Okay.